Welcome back to the GovTech series. My name is Danny Frietman. I'm one of the co-founders of GovTechNL, together with Rogier Klimby. In this edition, I'm going to speak with one of the only professors in the Netherlands about GovTech, and he's right here in the studio with me. I'm going to shortly introduce him. Nitesh, good to see you, man.
Good to see you,
How
Danny.
are you?
I'm doing fine.
You're looking good, you're looking exercised, you're looking healthy?
Yeah?
You're probably the only GovTech professor in the Netherlands, right? Please explain, elaborate.
Yeah, well, GovTech is a bit of a novel topic, right? So we're talking about digital technologies in the government, in the public sector, and there is a lot of work done on digitalization, there's a lot of work on public administration and government, but they were never really combined. And with this professorship at Delf University, we're hoping to combine them because we want to use the knowledge we have on technologies, we want to use the knowledge we have on governments, public services, and develop better public services.
Now this theme, right? So, you know, in a month from now, probably when you see this video, we're already near the 1st of November. We're running this GovTech Summit in The Hague, right? I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, Nitesh. But if you look back at this last couple of years, did you see this theme coming up like a mushroom? How is it that you were able to, you know, levitate towards that theme and grasp it as a professor?
Oh, yeah. Great question.
Great question, huh?
Yeah, indeed. So I've been working in tech, digital government for years now, more than a decade. And I've come from industry. I actually have a background in industry. And what we're seeing there is that we expect more from our governments today, looking at what we're used to in the private sector when you're using Netflix and Google, how amazingly gratifying those technologies are. We want to see that in our government. We want better public services. So what you've been seeing across Europe now, and I think the GovTech Summit over the past years has helped to put GovTech as a clear topic on top, because we are talking about a lot of topics when we talk about digital government, and GovTech really has helped to pull together all these ideas, these opportunities, but also these concerns we have about digital technologies. And when the time came, the university said, hey, this is a very important topic. We need to invest in this.
How important is that if in light of the ecosystems around the GovTech Summit, but also around your role, Nitesh, how important is that this in the Netherlands, but also Europe, invest in levitating the ecosystem around GovTech?
It is very important. So this ecosystem for me is very broad. So you have stakeholders being government agencies, you have companies, startups, scale-ups, also the big companies. You have all kind of civic tech organizations that are there for citizen groups, the humanities and so on. But what we are still missing is this knowledge development aspect. How do we develop knowledge? How do we share it? But also how do we educate the next generation of GovTech engineers? And actually that's the role I'm trying to fulfill. So setting a research agenda, doing this research with all these ecosystem partners, but also educating the next generation of engineers.
How is it important, and if you look at these next couple of weeks, the 1st of November, the GovTech Summit coming to the World Forum, how is it important that we host this as a city, but also as the Netherlands, but also even as The Hague, you know, take ownership of this GovTech theme?
Very important. It is very important. Why? Because in the Netherlands we actually have a very decentralized way of looking at our government. And this is unique because it allows us to allow for multiple kind of solutions. There is not one solution for every type of public service in the Netherlands. We don't have one single market party, but a lot. We have a vibrant GovTech ecosystems. I believe more than 400 GovTech startups. I'm working with a couple of them, and it's great to see this energy because they see this potential. What is very important there is to shift into a more co-creation mindset. So in the past, and this is not strange, governments have been there for hundreds of years now. We know this concept. And in the past, we always expected that government solved all these issues in our society on their own. They had to develop their own view on what a good public service is. They developed public counters and forms and so on. And now we finally see that they don't have to do this alone. There are a lot of companies out there that really have found a way to incorporate new technologies, technologies we see in the private sector, technologies we have on our smartphone. We see that these companies are now getting mature and trying to infuse them in what we know as the public sector. And this brings all kinds of new opportunities, but there are also some concerns. And I think it's very important that at this GovTech Summit,
that we discuss those concerns as well.
We discuss opportunities on the one hand, concerns on the other. We discuss best practices, but we also discuss knowledge gaps. What don't we know and what do we need to know and how do we get there?
So those are basically the key takeaways also from the 1st November, that we discuss those concerns, make them smart and resolve them right.
Exactly.
Great. Nitesh, great to have you in the studio with me. Hope to see you on the 1st November.
Definitely, it's booked.
Glad to have you, man. Thank you.
We'll be there.
Nitesh Bharosa, the first and the only GovTech professor in the Netherlands, here with me in the studio. Thank you for watching and listening. See you soon.